What's up, everybody? It's Kitch.
Henry.
Vibes Gang.
Vibes Gang.
What's good, Vibes Gang? Just so y'all know, me and Ree, we met on Instagram. Clearly fell in love.
100%.
So we decided to share our love with the world, to show exactly what relationship goals look like.
Hey.
100.
100.
I mean, we ain't perfect.
But we damn close.
Feel the vibes, man.
It's contagious.
What it is, gang. We are the gang, man.
We are.
Vibes Gang.
Definitely.
Hey, part 2 of this communication. A little bit different direction. Might be a little deeper, on some things.
Legit.
But remember, communication is a big topic. Like, it's a broad topic.
Yeah, it really is.
To cover. So, again, we just want to do our best to do these type of videos specifically for people who are actively looking to communicate a lot more healthy in all type of relationships.
It ties all in together. So, like we said, it's a very big topic. There's a lot of different parts to it, but the 3 main parts to remember about communication.
I think there's things like insecurity that gets in the way. Definitely. In relationships and the communication. There's also trust issues that get in the way. And then there's also jealousy, that gets in the way. So I would say 3 things to really pull yourself in the right direction would be to listen, to actually absorb the information that's being given to you, like by the person you're speaking with. That's a huge one. Then processing what you're going to say fully before you speak. Like, actually think about your response. Think about if it relates to what is actually going on at the time, and is it just like fully focused on getting clarity about what's happening right there at that time, in that moment. I would say that's the second thing. And then the third thing is take into consideration who it is that you're talking to. Because having healthy relationships, it matters who you're allowing in your space. So you want it to be a person that you want to speak gently to, kind to, polite to, soft to, just really looking at that person with the right heart and the right mind frame, the right mentality to get the clarity for that situation.
You're so cute. I feel like I don't know, it might be like the Scorpio in me, but a part of me does have a jealous side, and obviously we all have just insecurities about certain things.
She has a territorial side.
Correct.
She owns me. Right?
I do. No, I definitely do. But like, because people try me. Don't try me, boo. Don't go ahead. You will lose. Don't try me. But in my past relationships, I had an insecurity, and it wasn't necessarily a jealousy thing, because this sounds horrible, but I didn't really care about the person that I was with to really be jealous necessarily. But in like one of my relationships, I was cheated on, so that, made me feel a certain type of way. In another relationship, it was abusive, so that, it does certain things to you. So mentally, I got to a space where I was trying to protect myself and protect my heart and protect my feelings. So it just kind of grew into this monster that I was just like, I didn't like what I looked like in the mirror. I didn't like the person that I saw, because the person that cheated on me, for example, cheated on me with someone who looked nothing like me, a whole different race, a whole different body shape, like everything about the person that she cheated on me with was just completely different. So I'm like, you know, it mentally messes with you if you don't already have a strong sense of self. And at that time I really didn't. So it was messing with the communication, it was messing with our relationship, it was just messing with everything, like, all together. So yeah, no, I can definitely think back to a couple times when I was just like super jealous and just insecure, and that flooded over into, like I said, everything else in the relationship.
Man,
It was a lot. It was a lot. But that's when you grow and you have to find, once you find your sense of self and you understand who you are genuinely,
exactly.
it's kind of like, I don't really care what you do. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to talk like this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do... Then you start to do everything that makes sense to you, instead of trying to, like, make yourself and mold yourself into what your mate wants you to be.
Exactly.
Like, you'll either take me like this or you won't.
Ding, ding, ding.
And that was like the first thing I said to her.
Number one, know who you are.
Yeah, literally.
Like, be self-aware.
Correct.
Be confident in who you are and what you bring to the table.
It starts with how you get together with the person. Like, don't be in a relationship with someone that you cheated on your previous mate with. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, certain things you just don't do, because it won't, 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't work because it started a certain way. So if you get into a relationship and, like we said in the last video, you set boundaries, you know, like, respect each other and everything else, then the communication, the love, life, sex life, everything is just, it's blooming and it's blossoming because it has a chance to grow from nothing. If you get together with someone and, you know, it's kind of shaky ground, or it's, you know, it's just not like 100%, or it's not like 100% genuine, like, it's not, 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying it can't happen, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say that it won't work. So, I don't know, I feel like it's how people get into a relationship that sets the foundation for your whole relationship, and especially your communication.
Exactly. Like, insecurity, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I like the skits. I don't know, the people like the skits too. Like, yeah, well, like, just insecurity, just showing, like, a way that a person is. First, let's break it down this way, right? Let's break it down this way. A person who's insecure, they're most likely insecure before you. And that's where when I said, know who it is that you're talking to. Because if you have no evidence that you cannot trust that person, you should give them 100% trust. Because that person didn't do anything to you for you not to trust them. But insecure people, without your help, they'll hit you with stuff like this, like, you know, a little skit time. Insecure person be like, I saw you looking at the girl at the gym. We just left the gym just now. And you was looking at the girl at the gym. You were looking at the girl in the gym the whole entire time.
Baby, I wasn't looking at anybody in the gym.
Okay, so you telling me the girl, the same type of girls that you, like, your type, I'm your type. The girl was light-skinned, aggressive looking, had dreads, like some type of little braid, like braids or dreads or something in her hair. You was looking at her.
I wasn't looking at anybody.
I saw you looking at her.
Okay, first of all, there's only one light-skinned, aggressive girl with dreads in my life for me, and that's you.
Whatever.
Really?
Whatever.
Baby.
Whatever.
I wasn't looking at anybody in the gym.
I bet you probably, did you get, you was smiling, so when you smiled, that you wasn't smiling in her direction?
No, babe.
You was smiling.
I don't even know who you're talking about who was at the gym, baby.
Man, she
I
was
don't know who's
there.
at the gym.
I'm getting me mad because
Don't get
I
mad,
saw
baby.
you.
I wasn't looking at anybody
I
but you.
saw you
I was
looking
not
at
looking
her,
at anybody
yo.
but you.
I saw you, man.
I wasn't looking at her, babe. I don't even know who you're talking about. We were in a gym
Whatever,
and there was basketball
whatever.
games going on, so I'm gonna look around.
Whatever. You're just like everybody else.
Babe, I
You
wasn't looking at anybody
You're
in the gym.
just like
I
everybody
wasn't
else.
looking at anybody in the
No,
gym.
you are. You're just
No, I
like
was
everybody
not.
else.
I'm just like
You're-
everybody else.
Yes, because every time when you see girls that look like that, you're looking at them.
I wasn't looking at anyone in the gym, babe. I don't know what to tell you, but you really need to trust me or figure it out.
And she definitely wasn't looking at nobody in
I
the
really
gym but me.
I was looking at this light skinned thing.
Yeah,
She's
but
so
we did
cute.
leave the gym. We just left the gym. Shouts out to the team.
Hey,
We
champion!
won both our games. Anyway, but yeah, so that skit right there is just like an example of how a person just accuses you of something.
Correct.
And they're forcing it on you, repetitively telling you what you're doing. And then they're also playing the victim, so they're looking for you to reassure them about how you feel about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I always say, just be careful with people who are exhibiting like those type of behaviors. Just be careful because, again, a lot of times it has nothing to do with you.
Correct.
It really is an insecurity from past things that they've done. Now, if you have cheated on that person or if you have lied to that person, then you might have to be a little more sensitive
Correct.
to what they're saying. And that goes to the other point when we said the second point about the jealousy and, you know, the insecurities and the trust issues. The second part we talked about where you have to know that we want to get to the clarity piece.
Mm-hmm.
The clarity piece, right? So think about that. Just think about that. Just say to yourself, you know, I forgave the person, or I said I forgive that person, or I said I'm going to forgive that person. Whatever way you said it to yourself, really do that and keep an open heart and an open mind about communicating with that person because, man, like people, you really can grow a lot and learn a lot. And true forgiveness means you're allowing that person to grow and you're growing as well if you can really communicate past any of that hurt or any of that pain. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we don't recommend saying, you know, I'm just going to deal with everything, right? You know, my mate's doing this, my mate's doing that. I'm just going to stick it out and be a ride or die.
Ride or die.
A ride or die or whatever. Like, we honestly don't believe in that. But we do believe that two people can be healthy for one another.
Correct.
And then they just have some growing to do together.
If you feel like all your relationships have just been combative and you're not really growing, you're not learning as a person, I would sincerely from the bottom of my heart say take some time to really be by yourself and grow. Like I was just fortunate enough to find Kitch and have her just be like the perfect person for my life. You know, no, seriously, and just help me grow and help me really learn and everything like that. Like my last relationship, like it wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't the healthiest relationship for me to be in. But through that, I grew. Like through that relationship, I really found myself growing more than I ever did in any of my other relationships. So I grew a lot, which I feel like really prepared me for Kitch. If I was the same person that I was 5-6 years ago, I would be nowhere near ready for her, like at all. Like I really wouldn't, like at all.
Like you're touching on the real, because that's really what it's about. We want to help as much as we can, y'all. Like we're not perfect. Like we always say, we said in our, you know, in the opening, but we are really damn near close to perfect. Like for one another, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like she think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. And we have a really unique situation. So a lot of what we talk about are from our past experiences because we've both had unhealthy relationships. Mm-hmm. So we've done the things that we're talking to y'all about. So between the two of us, we know better, so we do better.
Correct.
We care about each other so much that we're willing to work extra hard to communicate appropriately. So that would be my challenge for y'all. She usually give y'all a challenge, but my challenge would be try and find the person who really wants to be their best for you and their best just for themselves. Try to find people or a person like that. Like, just get yourself around that type of situation. You know what I mean? So that way you know in your heart that communicating correctly with that person is going to have longevity. That relationship will have longevity.
Yeah. And I really just want to reiterate this. Take the time to communicate. Like, take the time to sit down in a setting that makes sense. In a quiet setting. If you're not good at communication, I will tell you firsthand, trying to talk somewhere loud is not good. Sit down in a quiet setting that you and your mate or you and whomever is both comfortable in, and talk appropriately. Okay, so, what is your concern? Listen, like she was saying, absorb, listen to that. Like, really take the time. Don't just make it like a whatever kind of thing.
Exactly.
No, you really need to take the time to do it, and take the love and compassion and whatever, and really take the time to sit down and communicate and hear that person's wants or needs or concerns or whatever it is.
Yes.
Absorb it. Think about it for a second. If you don't say anything, you could say that before the conversation even starts. Sometimes I'll tell her that, like, okay, I heard you. I need a minute, like I might not say anything, so I just need to take a minute and really think about it, so you say the right things.
Exactly.
So you don't just pop off out the mouth and say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Exactly.
Say the first thing that comes from your heart. Say the first thing that comes from your soul, not
Correct.
from your mind.
Correct. Listen to each other wholeheartedly, respectfully. Be mindful that you're human, like you're human beings. The things you say can definitely make or break any situation.